Now to what may be some movement in the escalating battle over a decision by a top Trump administration official not to initiate the formal transition process. The General Services Administration has responded to a letter that leaders of two House committees sent to Administrator Emily Murphy last week, giving her until today to explain why she has not ascertained Joe Biden as the apparent winner of the election. That move would give the Biden team access to money and materials needed for a smooth transition. Now, the GSA offered to send Murphy's deputy to Capitol Hill to brief lawmakers 1 week from today. Illinois Democratic Congressman Mike Quigley chairs the House Appropriations Subcommittee that oversees the GSA and was one of the lawmakers who signed the letter demanding a briefing from Murphy. Great to see you. Thank you for taking the time. So here's what they said. A week later than you and your colleagues want, and not the administrator, but her deputy. Are you satisfied with that?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, every day is absolutely critical. We're, as a country, facing a twin crisis, a pandemic and an economic downturn as a result. And the national security issues that the vice president talked about today are actually paramount to move forward. Waiting another week to hear from somebody about why they may or may not be doing ascertainment isn't satisfactory. And toward that end, I just got to notice that Speaker Pelosi said in a statement just a few minutes ago that this has to happen. This briefing has to happen tomorrow.
Has to happen tomorrow, but is there anything that she, your colleagues can do about it?
Look, we've been in touch with the transition team and the leadership of all these committees, keeping all the options open. At this point in time, we're also hoping that the decisions made by the states will have some impact there. We're going to be seeing certification in Pennsylvania, in Michigan. Obviously, the handwriting's on the wall. It's past due, but we need them to move forward.
Well, options open. What are your options specifically? What's under consideration if it's a no-show tomorrow?
You know, what we said in the letter initially was, if you don't do this or we're not satisfied, we have Article 1 powers, and we're not going to be afraid to use them, and that is to compel her to appear. And again, we don't want the deputy. We want the person who makes this decision. And I understand just how much pressure Ms. Murphy probably feels. But in the final analysis, this is her job. It is the right thing to do. It is unique in that she serves for a president. And I stress this with her. He is never going to concede, never. And at this point in time, unless she does the right thing, she will be helping him overcome the will of the American people.
You say you stressed this with her. You had a one-on-one conversation. What can you tell us about why what she told you about why this hasn't happened yet? And do you feel like she had any legitimate reasons for it?
I guess what I want to do is sort of classify or, give an overview of the conversation in the sense. I sensed the pressure that she was under, but I made clear what her legal requirements are. This, as tough as all that is, this is her job. I stress this is a president who is not going to concede. And there are 43 other presidents preceding who, for one reason or another, didn't have this problem. So while there may be a precedent in being the first GSA administrator who does ascertainment without a concession, the other alternative is far worse. A GSA administrator would allow an embittered president, unwilling to concede, to subvert the will of the people and put this country in danger for not allowing a transition to take place.
Well, Congressman, knowing her in your role as the head of the subcommittee that oversees the GSA, do you have any sense that the number of Republican lawmakers who have come out in recent days and may continue to come out and say, look, the president needs to allow the transition to move forward, could have any impact on her? Or do you feel like the only thing she's going to respond to is something directly from the White House?
And she's served with this president for 4 years. It's hard to imagine that she's going to see this. I'm hoping that we're seeing the last acts of an autocratic president. So I can't imagine that she would believe that that would come. I think it would be much easier to make this decision, as tough as she imagines it is, and I understand her concerns, is the opposite is far worse. I do think the certification will help. We certainly don't have a lot of profiles in courage yet. This should have happened the day after the election. And again, let's remember, under Obama, Biden, the day after that last election, which was much closer than this one, they invited the Trump-Pence team to the White House. They saw what the right thing to do in an election like this was. But she needs to step up and respectfully do the right thing.
Well, we'll be watching closely to see what happens tomorrow. Congressman Mike Quigley, very nice of you to come on the program. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.